What's going on, people? Welcome back to AFTV. We are in the Netherlands and you have joined us for the preview of PSV versus Arsenal in the first leg of the round of 16 in the Champions League. Now, I want to see a change from Arsenal. I don't want to leave here thinking, damn. And I know these intros can be long-winded.
Damn, is that a gag?
Hold on to it.
Well done, son.
I know these intros can be long-winded and sometimes I never land, but let me land. I'm not asking for much. Now, what's more likely? Arsenal winning comfortably or Julian going Dutch?
Well, we might as well go home now then.
Please, let's win comfortably. That's all I'd say. Please, look, he's sitting over there, right on the edge of the river.
Oh, no.
Should we just go and throw him in? You know what I mean? No.
No, he looks fit. He might want to jump in because he ain't on this.
Yeah, he wanted to be on this.
Oh, you wanted to be on this, then? We've only got 3 mics.
Right, let's get into the game. Big game.
Massive.
Tuesday night. I mean, this is our only shot at. The Premier League's done, so really this is where you're looking. I mean, it's a big ask anyway, but even if we do go through, I know it's a big if, we obviously have to play either with the Madrids, but so do PSV. So, like, is there any hope going forward, boys? Are you coming here thinking, do you know what, no hope in the Premier League, no hope in the Champions League?
I think I heard Lee say this the other day. What's the point in being in this if we just turn up thinking, I was doing a live last night and there's someone, if we get through then we're going to get Madrid, so we're out then. Then what's the point in being here? You've got to be in this to try and win it. When Chelsea won it that year, nobody made them favourites. Even Real Madrid, when they won it a couple of seasons ago, they weren't playing very well and they went on to win it. Now, listen, we are underdogs to win this competition, definitely, but we finished third in our group. Right, we've got to go into this with a bit of confidence. I know, we're lacking the strikers at the moment, but we've drawn PSV. I feel that that's a favourable draw. Right, we could have, Liverpool have got PSG. That's a lot harder, right? We got to go into this with some confidence. We finished third in the group. Let's go in this and try and see if we can win this competition. If we don't, we don't. But let's try to win it. This is why you want to be in Champions League, not just to participate, but to try and win it.
No, you make a good point. I want to give information on the fact that Arsenal will be wearing their away kit, but they'll be wearing the different colour shorts because they've done this before actually playing PSV. So to avoid
I don't remember that neither.
Yeah, to avoid kick clash. But Lee, have you seen a difference from Arsenal in the Champions League compared to playing in the Premier League?
Yeah, well, not really, but the one thing now is the last time we was playing in the Premier League to what we're playing in Europe is a completely different front line. I think the last time in the Champions League in Girona, funny enough, we never thought that would be the lineup, but that's what it is now. But listen, I'm going to be really honest. I've sort of come over here and I thought, right, no more excuses, no more. You know what I mean? If you look at our team, we're 2 players off of being at full strength. Saka and Havertz. It's the same the defence that you go with. The midfield strong.
Yeah, Lewis Skelly's returning back as well. He's from suspension.
The only 2 players we've got missing, you can argue like Martinelli and Trossard, they've been sort of chopping and changing, so there's no real favourite on that side. So it's just 2 positions. There's a lot of teams in Europe and in all that have got more than 2 players out of their team. So there's no excuses no more. With all of that midfield and all that defence, we've also got to say we ain't creating nothing. So now I want to see the likes of Odegaard, who's ever on the wing, Trossard, creating, making chances. Even if we're missing, there was the thing when Havertz was playing, he was missing chances. We ain't even getting no chances now. So I think it's a collective thing now to sort of sort yourselves out. We haven't got the striker, but still carry on doing what we're doing and create some chances. And I'm not going to come here thinking, we ain't got no strikers, let's not win it. No excuses no more. We've still got good players and should get the job done.
Here's a quick word from our sponsors. All right, people, let's talk about something important. If you're spending any time online, you need a VPN. And the best in the game is NordVPN. Think of a VPN like a PIN code to your phone. You don't want just anyone snooping through your messages. But with Nord, your online activities are encrypted, shielding you from hackers and anyone else who shouldn't be snooping around. Even the curious ones at home. Now, we also know the big issue. 3 p.m. football in the UK. It's off limits. Can't watch it, can't stream it. You even think about looking for it, you get shut down faster than Spurs in the title race. But if you were in, say, Australia, America, or somewhere else, it wouldn't be an issue. And with NordVPN, you could change your location with just 1 click. Obviously, we would not be able to do that. But if we did, it would work perfectly. But it's not just about sports, even though you know we love sports. But with Nord, you can access international streaming sites and more, giving you all the best entertainment choices. You can grab this deal by going to nordvpn.com/AFTV for 4 extra months on a 2-year plan, plus a special birthday coupon as a limited time offer. Plus, it's always risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Thanks to NordVPN, and let's get back to the video. You make a good point about no strikers. I'll come to you, Robbie. Let me just read this stat. Arsenal have the lowest XG against per game average, 0.73 in the UEFA Champions League this season, as well as allowing the fewest shots on target against, which is 2.4. They kept a clean sheet in 63% of their games in this competition this term. Both of you, starting with you, Robbie, would you take a draw now?
Well, yeah, listen, it's a two-legged game. So, listen, a draw's not a bad result. You know what I mean? You get them back to your place at home. Yeah. And that's normally we've done the business, you know what I mean? In this competition is where we've been really strong, at home. So, but listen, we finished third, right? I know, as we keep saying, no Saka, no Havertz, some of the firepower is gone. But I'm now looking for some of these other players to step up to the plate, right? The time for feeling sorry and moaning and groaning for me is kind of gone now. And now I want to see performances, right? Raheem Sterling, right? I want to see a performance from Raheem Sterling. I want to see him step up to the plate. A couple of seasons ago, this guy was, doing big things for England, doing big things for Man City. You are supposed to be a big-time player.
Experience, yeah. He's got
experienced player. I want to see him step up. I don't want to hear excuses, right? Leandro Trossard, who at the start of the season didn't want to celebrate a goal because he was moaning that he doesn't start games. Well, you're starting every week now. Step up to the plate.
Have you already seen enough from both of them?
No.
They've had a lot of...
No, so this is, you've got to step up. I've seen Wanyeri and Lewis Skelly called in emergency position sort of thing, and they've stepped right up.
Yeah.
Lewis Skelly keeping out established left backs, Wanyeri making us not miss Saka as much as we thought we would because of the performances that he's put in. Those guys have stepped up. I want to see Martin Odegaard step up. He's a great player, he's done great things for us, but we need you now in this competition to step up. Declan Rice, you've been okay, but I know that Declan Rice can be even better. So there are players in that team good enough to beat PSV. There's Thomas Partey in there. We've got a great defence, right? We know that we are short of options in attack, but if those guys produce, of course we can go out there and beat PSV. So I just think the time now for feeling sorry for ourselves and moaning and groaning and this one's out and when's he coming back? They ain't coming back. They ain't coming back, people, they're not. Right? Let's just look on it like that. Saka ain't coming back for any of the PSV games, nor is Martinelli, nor is Havertz, nor is Jesus. Those three there, it's over to you. Simple.
You can beat PSV. He's right. We can. But you said you'll take a draw. You would take a draw today.
I'll take a ball 0-0 draw. And I think at the end of the day, we're weak up top, and you can say that you've got a few excuses there. But there's no excuses for not coming here and keeping a clean sheet. We've still got our best defenders here. We've still got our best midfielders here. Get a clean sheet. Get a clean sheet. Take it back to the Emirates. I don't think that's a bad thing to do when you're in Europe. Listen, ideally, you'd love to come here and win 2-0 and make it a little bit easier. But that's not going to be the scenario. Great if it does. Well, what you've got to do is every one of them players in that defence has got to do their job. A little bit like what we did against Forest. Make it very, very difficult for them. Keep possession when we can, and get a clean sheet. Come away from here 0-0. I look at this game. If we lose this 1 or 2-0, then I'm looking at the defence and going, well, maybe you're not the best in Europe. Because at the end of it, to be the best in Europe, you've got to come to places like this and get clean sheets. Against Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, going to be a bit tougher. Whoever you play in the semi-final, a little bit tougher because the competition goes up. But you've still got what I believe is class defenders, and also I'm going to bring in Raya in that as a goalkeeper as well. Clean sheet is what I expect tomorrow. That's what I expect.
Yes. And Lee, there's been teams that have not been firing, that have gone all the way to the, like when
100%.
Borussia Dortmund a couple of seasons ago went all the way to the final, they weren't firing. As I said, Real Madrid, they won it on a season when they weren't firing. You know what I mean? So it's not always going to be going perfectly for you. What are you going to do when there's a bit of adversity? When we look at PSV, even they have been faltering a little bit in their league. They're 8 points behind Ajax, very similar to us.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
Where they've
Go on
kind
to
of
that.
fallen off a cliff a bit. I saw the 2 legs that they played against Juventus. I thought in the second leg in particular,
impressive.
they were very, very
they're
good.
up for it.
Right? But listen, you know, we finished third as well. We've been very good in this tournament. You know what I mean? We've been very, very good in this tournament. Going away, that 5-1 impressive win against Sporting. You know what I mean? We're very unfortunate in that game against Inter, which was like the only game that we've lost so far in this competition.
Yeah,
We've got to take a bit of confidence into this.
there is a lot to hold on to. I mean, their last 2 games as well, PSV lost against Go Ahead Eagles, which is a bit of a shock result. If I know PSV fans would say that as well. I obviously have a friend who's a PSV fan. He said right now their form isn't the greatest, and they can be got at. They've only kept 1 clean sheet in their last 10 as well games in the Champions League as well. So you can score against them. So there's a bit of confidence to hold on to. It's just we know that PSV, from speaking to again a lot of the fans, say they get up for the big games. This will be a big game, and they're obviously gonna try. They're gonna try and get ahead, especially in their home leg. Let me quickly ask you just this, right? And Julian, if you can listen as well, you can jump onto this. What did PSV do in the January window that we failed to do, which they took advantage of? Anyone know?
Well, did they sign a striker? I mean, they signed Lucas Perez,
Oh,
didn't they?
Rob, Mr.
But to
not
me,
that we'd want that, but
to me,
they
that's
did
not
that.
what Arsenal needs. The guys that we've got at the moment are
they
better than Lucas Perez. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, don't
They're
forget that,
better
this is good.
than Lucas Perez, so they need to step up. I know there's a lack of firepower. Make it so we don't need that.
Yep.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Honestly, I don't want to hear these guys, right, moaning again. Right? Because you know what? You'd have a Raheem Sterling, for instance, sitting there on the bench, probably moaning at the manager, Mikel, get me on. Well, you're on now. You're on.
Yeah. In the biggest competitions
And
as well.
only person who can turn around your bad form, who can turn around a lack of confidence is you. You're what is he, 29, nearly 30 now. You've played multiple games for England. You've played multiple games at the highest level in the Champions League at all levels. You've got to get yourself through this moment and produce. And you go out there on Tuesday night and put a performance in, you could win all the fans back round.
Yeah, he's not,
Well,
he's
this is
not-
it.
It's simple.
It's made for him, isn't it? Like as you said, like with Trossard, I think Trossard stepped up last season on the back end of last season and was brilliant for us. Scoring goals. That's where the song come from. But this season, for whatever reason, he hasn't been quite at it.
Hit and miss.
It's a bit hit and miss. So he needs to step up and perform.
You're right, actually, the Trossard again. Trossard
that's
again,
where it come from,
Yeah,
like,
true.
you know,
he was
so,
he
like,
was
he
in a run
needs
of
to-
form, but
You know,
we
I
haven't
fancy
seen it
could.
in a while.
You know, I fancy could have a good game tomorrow. Is Ethan Wanyeri. I really do think that his trickery, the what he's been doing. You know, what I mean. I know the last couple of games he's been quiet. But we've been sitting against. It's going to be really interesting this game to see how it plays out because. Let's remember the last 3 games we've played against teams that have sat really, really deep.
Yeah.
Leicester sat really, really deep. We managed to break them down in the end. West Ham were really, really deep, and so were Nottingham Forest. Not crowded up the midfield. Now it's going to be interesting. PSV, they're at home. Like you said, their form's been stuttering. They really need to get something out of this first game to bring back to the Emirates. Can they afford to sit ultra deep like what we've seen in the last 3 games? Or will they have a go? And we've seen with Arsenal that when teams do have a go, like what City did, and teams that are trying to stick it on us a bit more, we seem to perform a lot
We have
better
to be up-
against
yeah,
those
we have
type
to
of
be up for
teams.
it.
So, rather than, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be deep. I don't know if they can afford to be, and then come back to the Emirates and not really have some sort of lead.
Yeah, both
I think they wouldn't want that to be the outcome of that game. Them coming back to the Emirates with no kind of lead.
I think you're right. And I think both managers are it's going to be interesting to see what tactics they go with. You're right to mention Ethan Wanyeri, and I'm hoping I'm going to get this stat right, that he becomes the second youngest player if he starts to be in a Champions League knockout stage for Arsenal after Cesc Fabregas at 17 years old. And then out of England. I think he's the third youngest in this stage after
He's the
Jude
youngest
Bellingham,
scorer in
Phil
the competition
Foden
as well.
Phil Foden, yeah, I believe so as well. So hopefully, Ethan, I think he might be the one to unlock us, the locks from PSV, and hopefully get us over the line. I'm gonna get your thoughts as well. We're gonna close off obviously with score predictions. Just like you mentioned previously, Rob, right to mention that they're second currently, PSV, same as us. They seem like, Ajax are 8 points in front. There's 10 games left in their league, PSV and Eredivisie. So their attention might be heavily on this competition as well. So it's going to build to be a big game. Like, I think their fans are very much saying they've probably got their eyes on the Champions League as well. I know we both got the Madrids after this, but for confidence and for for the joy of the fans, they're going to put a lot behind this competition. So is that are you worried? What's your score prediction going to be, Lee? And how do you think it's going to play out?
I think first and foremost with PSV, like, they're not guaranteed every season of getting the Champions League. So when they get in it, they want to make the most of it. So there'd be the Real Madrid carrot or Atletico carrot is massive, as well as this game for us. It's two big massive games for them. I don't think you can underestimate what they've done against Juventus. I actually thought over 2 legs Juventus would beat them, and I was very, very impressed, particularly with the way they played here in the second leg. So, listen, I'm going 0-0. I want to be bored out of my head tomorrow. I really do. And just get out of here and then concentrate on winning it at home next week, like with a set piece or something like that. Then in the next round, the chances are we'll have Martinelli back, which would be a big boost to us. So for me, it's just about getting through 0-0 all day long for me.
Okay, so yeah.
Listen, I'm predicting it might be like a 1-1, but I really do want to see these forward players step up, because we're talking as if we've got no forward players, and those players should be enough to beat PSV. You know what I mean? They've not exactly got unbelievable players up front. They've got a good forward line. You know what I mean? But they've got an aging Perisic, they've got an aging Luke de Jong. These are, come on. Raheem Sterling, step up, Trossard, Martin Odegaard. You guys can be absolute key to a win tomorrow. And if they step up, those guys step up, we could leave it with a win. But I think I'll probably go like a 1-1.
Okay, and I'm going to go for a 1-0 either way. I know it's a safe score for me. I can't predict this one. It's going to be a tight game for me, but 1-0 either way. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments below, of course. And also,
Beautiful day, by the way.
Lovely. I know Robbie's yacht's turned up in a second, guys, so we've got to wrap it up because we want to get on the boat. But let us know what your score predictions will be in the comments below. Also, would you take a draw now? Are we being too pessimistic, or are we being real? Let us know in the comments below. Would you take a draw now, or do you think Arsenal will go on and win this game? Thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you soon. Take care.